Hi, friends. I'm Katie Brinkley, and you're listening to a Rocky Mountain Marketing Quickcast. These bite sized episodes are released every Thursday and are going to give you the latest news and tips in the world of social media that are happening right now. Let's dive into today's Quickcast episode. Welcome back to another episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. Now, this Quickcast episode, we are going to dive into how you can maximize your social media presence, because really you need to have a plan in place. 2023, folks, the spaghetti at the wall method, it doesn't work anymore. So social media marketing is extremely important for you as a business owner, no matter what your business is. And we learned a lot of this during the pandemic when we couldn't go out there and have people come and visit our stores, and we couldn't go to networking events. Why should you be on social media? And as somebody that works in social media, you know that I'm going to say something like this, but hear me out. Social media now is just as important as having a website. Whether or not you have 100 followers, 1,000 followers, or 100,000 followers on social media, people are still going to your account and checking you out. They're clicking that link on your website saying, "Oh, what is this business like on Instagram? Do I get to see behind the scenes? Is the owner showing up?" They want to know more about you. And social media really allows you to give that look behind the curtain to your ideal clients, customers, and really grow a community of raving fans around your business. So the most important part of social media is to know who you're talking to. You need to make sure that when you are showing up on social media, you don't need to show up on every single platform known to mankind. Make sure that you show up on the platforms that make the most sense for who your ideal client and customer is. If you are targeting B2B, LinkedIn is a great place for that. If you want to network with other people, LinkedIn is great. If your audience is more community focused or a little bit older demographic, Facebook is a great place to be. Instagram, you can show up a variety of ways on Instagram, whether it's going live to short form video to carousel posts to single images. There's so many options on the Instagram, and you can really target your people there. The reason I'm listing all of these out is because you have the opportunity to focus in on your ideal client on one platform and nail it out of the park. You can have these conversations with your ideal clients on a regular basis. One of the first things that I do when we bring on a new client is we have an onboarding call. And we sit down and kind of go over the whole, this is the Google Drive, this is the social media scheduler that we use, this is how it works. But then we have a conversation, and I want to know all about them, all about you. I want to know who you've been working with, who your ideal client is, what clients have seen the best results from your business. And I know that a lot of my clients get some clarity about really who their ideal client is when we have this conversation, because you might not have really sat down and thought about it for a while. Who is it that you want to talk to? Who is it that you find the most value getting results with, that you enjoy working with the most? And once you know who it is that you're talking to, you can reverse engineer and figure out who their clients are and how they're engaging on social media. You also can look at some of your competitors. Facebook does have the option to look at what your competitors are doing for ads. What ads have they been running for months? If they've been running some ads for quite some time, that means that ad is pretty darn successful. How are they promoting launches? If they're in the middle of a launch, what kind of ads are they doing for their launch? These are really important things to pay attention to and to check up on more than just once a month or once a year. Go in there and kind of see what your competitors are doing and what's working for them. Not copying them, but what's working for them. And you can really take this information of who your ideal client is, what your competitors are doing, and you can use this to develop your social media marketing plan, because it's not just one type of post that's going to do well on every platform, that's going to do well time and time again. Quotes, stock imagery, pretty graphics. They're only going to take you so far. You are going to need to incorporate you into your social media strategy. So how can you do it? And that's where the plan comes into place. I mentioned this earlier, choosing the right social media platforms. Instagram, 5 different ways that you can show up. Instagram Live, Reels, Stories. Side note, 80% of people visit Instagram Stories before even going to the feed. So if you're not utilizing Instagram Stories, you need to start doing it now. There's the feed, and then there's carousel posts. That's 5 ways that you can show up for somebody on Instagram. Then there's LinkedIn. You can do LinkedIn audio rooms, LinkedIn lives. Single images on LinkedIn, they still perform very, very well. You can do carousel posts. You can publish articles. You can send newsletters. There's a variety of ways to show up on LinkedIn. Facebook groups. You have the feed. You have your business pages. There's so many ways that you can show up on Facebook. The reason I'm listing all of these off is so that you have the opportunity to go all in on these platforms, one platform, and nail it. And then once you do, then you can start adding in more platforms to focus in on, to start creating messages for. I just started incorporating Facebook strategies back into my plans in 2023. I've been utilizing LinkedIn and Instagram for the past few years, and they've been very, very successful. Now I'm kind of focusing in on Facebook, and I'm seeing a lot of really good results, but it's because I have the time and the strategy that I can implement over on Facebook. And you really need to know which platform your clients and customers are hanging out on. How do you feel comfortable showing up on those platforms? If you don't want to do short form video, well, you know what? TikTok probably is not going to be the best spot for you. If you don't feel comfortable writing a lot of your posts, but you do feel comfortable on video, well, LinkedIn is probably not going to be the best spot for you, because writing and those long posts and carousel posts and newsletters and articles, those are still great ways to show up on LinkedIn. So really take a look at what platform makes the most sense for you to spend time on. And lastly, creating engaging content. The different types of content out there that you can post really need to go back to what you enjoy producing the most. You want to make sure that this content that you're creating isn't just all me focused. 80% of the content that you create should be value first. How are you helping someone? What tip can you give them that will help them grow their business? All of these different ways that you can give value, and then 20% of the time you can talk about how to work with you. Hey, I'm offering this new webinar. Hey, I'm sign up for Social Profit Lab. Whatever it is that you're promoting, you can start talking about it on that 20% of the time. But the more you show up and give value for your clients, your customers, your followers, you're creating fans, you're creating community. And valuable content is shareable content. When your community members resonate with what you're creating for them and the gift of your knowledge that you're giving them, they're going to want to share it with their friends, their followers. And when that happens, you're getting free exposure from your biggest fans. And last but not least, video versus pictures versus just text. You can't show up the same exact way every time that you post. Why? Well, because if you show up the same time every single time, you're going to be missing out on potential people, potential community members that maybe they don't like short form video. Maybe they don't like your reading a newsletter or an article. Maybe they really like carousel posts. Everyone consumes content differently. And if you show up and you give content to each of your community the way that they best consume it, you can be sure that someone's going to be seeing it. Maybe they don't see Reels because the way that their algorithm is made on Instagram, but they engage in carousel posts like crazy. And so they see all of your carousel posts. So you really have to make sure that you're focusing in on showing up for your community, for your followers, a variety of ways, because everyone consumes content differently. All right, you need to start emphasizing what you're doing on social media this year. maximize your presence. And the way you're going to do that is by scaling back your efforts and going all in on one platform, showing up a variety of ways. You can post only 3 or 4 times a week and still have great success because you know exactly who you're talking to, the way that they consume content, and you're showing up a variety of ways on that platform. Thank you so much for listening to this week's Rocky Mountain Quickcast episode. If you haven't signed up for Social Profit Lab yet, be sure to do so. You can go to socialprofitlab.com. 4 days, 40 speakers. And these 40 speakers are going to level up your business in 2023. Go to socialprofitlab.com today. It's free. You know you're going to want to show up and share this with a friend, and be sure to come and take some notes. We'll see you in the next episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing.